What's up, guys? My name's KhaoticK, back at you guys a little lit-ass video today, and we're coming at you with another substance review. Yes, you heard that right, and without further ado, let's get into the review. So, yeah, this is gonna be about 4-MMC, 4-methyl-methcathinone, yes. And this is my first intentional cathinone substance. And, I saved this just for the last, I was never really interested in this shit. And the reason why is because I never found a source that made sense. But this one was domestic, and I was very, very glad to find it. So, hence, now the video. So, here we go. Let's get into this. I do hope you guys enjoy. Stay high, stay lifted, and leave you down in the comments what you guys have been doing, and what you guys been up to, and what you guys are on. Anyways, also leave your experiences of this in trip reports in the comments section below. Let's get into this. So, 4-MMC feels like a speeded up version of like fake MDMA. It feels like fake MDMA. It feels a lot more like kind of like tweaky, right? And yeah, this one's just a lot more energetic. However, when you take it orally, it actually has more of a serotonergic effect, and it actually feels a lot more akin to MDMA, like a fake e-pill or something. And who knows? This could have been cutting e-pills I've done before and would have never even known. So, yeah, and the experience was actually pretty therapeutic. Leave it down in the comment section if you guys agree with that, but this was actually pretty therapeutic. I was actually thinking of some shit, and it wasn't bothering me. It had kind of like that therapeutic effect of MDMA. You could tell that's just, what the serotonin does. But this time, I had a lot more energy to my thoughts, but my thoughts made sense. It was pretty interesting, and it didn't make me feel like shit. And I also did it for 3 days in a row. Actually, I'm on it right now a little bit. So, I'm giving a review while I'm on the substance. But anyways, I have had no come down. And I did orally, I've snorted it, and even vaped it. So, yeah, I don't know. I know it drains serotonin a bit, apparently. But, man, I don't really notice a difference. But I have been taking 5-HTP recently. So, I've been making sure I'm, supplying myself with serotonin. So, anyways, but please don't combine the both. I was just taking it leading up to the experience. So, yeah, I've been restoring my serotonin levels. I'm sure that's helped. So, probably a lot less likely to have it come down now, which is good, but this is nothing like MDMA. If this was MDMA, I would have had a come down really, really bad. So, yeah, it's obviously not that toxic in the beginning, though. But this shit's very, very caustic, okay? When I snorted this shit, it burned my fucking ass. My fucking nose, not my ass. But anyways, yeah, it burned my fucking nose way up there, man. And yeah, I had some bloody boogers. Luckily, I did not have a nosebleed. I've never had a nosebleed from snorting anything. I know I'm lucky. But I've also never really snorted too much at a time. But this shit, oh man, this was like the worst shit I've ever snorted. I'd rather snort MDMA. Even MDMA's, it hurts really bad, but that was less worse. This shit, I could feel it eating my nose away. It was really bad, really bad. And I'm never going to snort it again. Nope. It was kind of like snorting 2CB, but nah, not as bad, not as bad. And I've never snorted pure 2CB powder. I've only snorted it in a binder. So I wouldn't really know what that feels like, but I would feel like this probably feels like snorting 2CB. Maybe 2CB hurts more. But anyways, 4-MMC hurt like a bitch. So, never doing that ROA again. And I'm just going to stick to oral doses or vaping it. But vaping, it's way more fiendy. So, I'd probably just stick with oral doses, and just wait for the onset. Because, yeah, is what it is. I don't want to be, abusing this. It's not that good to use all the time. And it has some iffy kind of like worrying cardiotoxic effects. I would say this shit's probably not good for your heart at all. And I got to be really careful when I use it. So it gave me energy for this video though, but it's kind of like a forced kind of energy. So this shit will drain you. All right, don't get it wrong, but I would say it's pretty tame, okay? And I'm not doing it the way that people normally do it, where they just snort it all fucking night, like do a gram in a night. I don't have that tolerance, and I don't ever want to have it come down. So I'm making sure I'm taking sensible dose. Up until this point, I'm probably taking up to like 200 milligrams, but that's it. Over 3 days, and I really did not have a come down. So that's almost like a fifth. That's like a fifth of a gram. No come down. I haven't been abusing it. Gave my body enough rest, nutrition. So as long as you have your rest and nutrition up there, as long as you can sleep, I would say this shouldn't give you a come down. I'm pretty sure the come down comes from losing sleep and nutrition and, dehydration. Because this shit does dehydrate the fuck out of you. But please keep in mind, please be wary if you snort it. use some fucking nasal saline solution to rinse your fucking nose out, and, you know, possibly inhaler to kind of open your nose up, because that shit's gonna, your nose is gonna close. Like, my nose fucking closed. One of my nostrils closed the rest of the night. And not in a bad way. Like, the fucking mucus closed it up. It was so damaged. It was just like, nope. I don't know what the fuck you did, but I'm not allowing you to fucking snort in my nose again. So that nostril was fucking out of order for the rest of the night. And the next morning, it was still out of order. And then eventually it cleared up. I was like, thank God. But yeah, that shit got stuck up in my nose. It didn't even absorb right. I don't know. All it did was just get stuck in my fucking nose. So yeah, and please keep in mind, this shit was a little more wet. It was kind of like cocaine is. You got to put like a hot plate in the, a plate in the microwave and make it hot. So you need a hot plate and put this shit on there. Make sure it dries up that water, because that shit affected the way it went in my nose. It clumped up in my nose and fucking hurt even more. So you want to make sure it's like a fine powder, because that shit's really, really not a fine powder. At least my version is not. So got to be careful, and watch out there. Could have other cuts or metabolites. It might not even be for MMC itself. So please keep that in mind. Please use test kits. And yeah, that's the best way you could do it to ensure that you got either legit shit, or at least you know what it is. Or if you don't know what it is, there you go. Be a guinea pig, I guess, but at least be educated in what you're doing. But anyways, this stuff feels pretty nice. I can still eat on it, and it doesn't really affect my eating habits too much. It hasn't really affected my sleep unless I do it late at night, like really late at night, like past like 12 a.m. That's when it affects my sleep. But that's any stimulant, obviously. This one in particular, it feels a little uncomfortable with snorting and vaping it, but orally it feels very comfortable, okay? But yeah, it has way more of a rushy effect. So it must be higher on the dopamine neurons. It must be more dopaminergic, and it feels kind of tweaky. It feels like, yeah, it does feel like a mix of coke and MDMA. So I'm hoping this one's actually for MMC, because I have yet to test it. My test kit's expired, so there you go. Please don't follow what I'm doing. But yeah, we're gonna test this shit, all right? I'm gonna leave you guys a note in the description when I do test it, because I'm very interested in doing so. I haven't really had time to do it. That's the main reason why I haven't done it. So, but when I get to it, I really will update you guys on what this shit actually is. I'm hoping it's for MMC. But anyways, yeah, leave it down in the comments what other cathinodes you guys have done, what to look out for, and what severe side effects, because this shit is not good for you, all right? And honestly, this shit's not addicting at all. Like, I've done a lot of coke, I've done a lot of Molly. I'd rather do both of those by themselves, than this. So, but this one feels nice by itself as well. It's just like those, but however, this one, after all this time, I'm just kind of bored of this shit. And yeah, I just require a lot more of a dose. And I don't like that shit. That makes me fiend, And then the higher the dose, the more side effects. So yeah, it sucks, but yeah, some drugs have to not be used, okay? I would say this one's therapeutic. Like, you could actually work on this shit in a way, as long as you don't take a high dose. You should be able to act normal, unless you're redosing the whole night. Never mind, but taking one dose at a time, making sure you're sticking to that, that's the best harm reduction I can give for this substance. And the dosage is like 80 to 100 milligrams common dose. So please watch out when you're doing that. But I would say this stuff feels really nice, and it's not as neurotoxic as MDMA, because keep in mind, MDMA and MDA are both neurotoxins. This is probably a neurotoxin, but it doesn't have a proven neurotoxin metabolite, because MDMA and MDA have a neurotoxic metabolite. This could, by all chances, it could. But based off the studies, based off how I feel even, the synth must be good enough, because I don't feel any side effects, okay? And yeah, it just feels like a tweaky version of a fake e-pill, but really, really, really trying to be MDMA, but it's not. It's a false sense of it. And you kind of get up there in this feeling, you feel like you're getting higher, but you reach a ceiling. You don't really like roll. You don't really get this like that same feeling. It kind of teases you, dick teases you, man. And I just don't like that shit. I'd rather just do Molly, but I've also, retired from that shit. So yeah, I'm not really interested in doing this stuff. But leave it down in the comments if you guys really love this stuff. I would give this an 8 out of 10. It's nice, but then it's kind of boring, because I don't know. It's probably just from my past substance use. So in terms of other chemicals, there's way more euphoric chemicals than this. Like even GHB, GBL is more euphoric than this. And that's probably due to the downer effect of it. But again, I could be wrong. I never took a high dose, like higher than 100 milligrams. I probably need a higher dose. I'm a bigger individual, tall, so I think I need to take a higher dose. So I may prove myself wrong, and yeah. But anyways, I will leave it up to another chance to try it at a higher dose. Not too high of a dose, but just a little bit. But anyways, yeah, leave it down if you guys enjoyed this video. Please join my harm reduction Discord, join my channel, leave a like, and subscribe for more content. And I hope you guys stay high, stay lifted, and have a good night, good morning, good evening where you guys are, and peace out to the next one.